not supposed to be talking right now?
That's right.
Is he not getting audio? Because I'm not getting audio on mine.
I don't know.
Hey. Hummel.
You did.
I don't think we have audio.
No audio at all?
And plus our page still says this. This is what we're seeing live.
Yeah.
You have audio?
We have any viewers right now?
It's
We got
good.
5 viewers.
It's good. I can see it. It's fine. You guys are good. You have audio. You have video.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Do your piece.
Do your thing.
Is this how you get riled up?
Hell yeah.
You want to say fucking hi or, introduce the show or anything?
Ready?
Yeah, we've been ready. We've been sitting here for fucking...
Okay. Social justice warriors, Tumblr Knights, let me make myself clear right now. You people are nothing more than internet trolls seeking personal validation. You instigate arguments, and you slander anything that doesn't comply with your half-assed agenda. An agenda we honestly don't believe that you fully understand. You hide behind the guise of equality and progressive ideas. You shout words like bigot, misogynist, sexist, and oppressor, thinking that all men are rapists, and that everyone, no matter how useless to society, deserves and is entitled to a huge first-place trophy. You are some of the most shallow human beings on the face of the planet, and nothing you do is thought out. Everyone sees what you do in an effort to boost your personal reputation. We strongly believe in equality of anything and anyone while maintaining a diversity in strengths, abilities, weaknesses, men, women, straights, gays, all races, and all classes. But what we will not stand for is the pussification of our society in an effort to make every single mindset comfortable. This is Earth. There are 7 billion lives and minds, and all of them are different. If you believe that everyone should be awarded the same, you're the problem. You have literally watered down our generation down to a level where flying an American flag on our own property is offensive, where owning a weapon is an infringement on your lifestyle, not your rights, where I'm labeled a monster for spanking my own misbehaving and disrespectful child in an effort to prevent him from ending up just like you. Honestly, your father should have taken a belt to your ass just like ours did to us. We see you on Twitter, we see you on Tumblr, we see you over and over again, commenting wrong, offensive, wrong. We see you teaching in schools, ignoring history completely, and preaching opinions. We see you screaming when you don't get your own way. But what no one seems to see is you getting out there and doing something about it. Actually, I'm wrong about that. You have done your damage. Schools across this country have what are called gifted programs, where students who excel above the rest are removed from their classroom and grouped with like-minded peers. They are taught differently, have different opportunities in science, technology, and are awarded to reflect their strengths. Well, one day, little average Johnny Fuckstick saw that the gifted kids got to learn with Lego robotics and wanted to play. But Johnny made below average grades, had an underwhelming reading level, and showed almost no ambition. He was told that the robots were for the gifted students. Well, little Johnny went home to Mr. and Mrs. Fuckstick and cried about it. They took to Twitter and to Facebook preaching that their son was denied the same education as the inclined children. They started the movement. Programs were threatened, funding was cut, and the next thing you know, there was no longer a gifted program. The smart kids had to slow down to keep pace with the slowest learner in the classroom. And overnight, the walls got painted gray. That's the damage that social justice warriors have done. You have destroyed progression by pretending to be progressive. You get involved in issues that have no relevance to you and that you know nothing about. That's what's harmful. You're not fighting for free speech. You're not fighting for equality. You're fighting for the right to outlaw opinions that you don't want to hear. So go ahead and sit there and be triggered. I'm going to go out and actually make a difference. I'm Dakota Baker. That wasn't relative. I'm an idiot, and this is Idiolitics.
Beautiful. That was wonderful.
Very
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you for that great introduction. Minus it not having anything to do with the show tonight, I think it was really good.
It was pretty fantastic.
It was great.
All right.
So what do we got lined up today, fellas?
Well, we got plenty of news.
A lot of stuff.
Trump's bringing in multiple people to his cabinet and to his administration, so we'll talk about them. We've got
Ben Carson's back in the news.
Ben Carson's back. We got to talk about Ben Carson. We'll talk a little bit about Bannon, the infrastructure he's trying to bring into play, and then we'll touch on the alt-right.
Of course.
And I know last week we said this was the end of Clinton, but we'll talk about Clinton again.
Clinton again.
One more time.
And I feel like we say this is the last time we're going to talk about Clinton, but if Clinton has her way, she'll be talked about till the end of time.
Yeah, well, if Clinton had her way, she'd be president of the United States. So thankfully, we dodged that bullet.
We definitely did. All right, so let's jump right in.
All right.
So this week, Trump met with. Sorry, I leaned back. That's my bad. I felt like I was.
What do you think we are? Like a first-rate show? We don't
have that kind of.
We don't have
technology.
that kind of technology.
I thought we had the technology.
We do not have the technology.
Okay. Well, Trump this week met with the executives from major networks, and he used the time to criticize post-election coverage.
Yeah, so basically, Trump brought together all the media execs from a bunch of the major networks, like CNN, like Lester Holt was there.
Was MSNBC?
I mean, I can't say for sure, but I'm sure they were.
Definitely Lester Holt. And,
regardless, yeah, so like a bunch of the execs come together, and what they thought was going to go down is they're going to talk about like how they're going to have access to his administration, how they're going to work out media, logistics, and
they were talking about transparency, which was a huge issue with the Obama administration. Probably.
Yeah, well, Obama used to restrict not only media, but exclusively Fox News media. He didn't want any alternating views to come in and criticize anything he was doing.
Who would?
Yeah, right. So that's another reason why Obama's administration is always looked at as so clean and like scandalous free, according to the left. When they've had like multiple scandals, they like politicized the IRS, politicized the DOJ, like a bunch of really, really serious scandals that the media kind of just never reported.
It wasn't in their best interest.
But anyways, so he takes all these execs together and pretty much gave him the middle finger. Pretty much threw him the bird.
Hey,
Who was there?
Man, it was all like the just big media execs. I just remember the only name that comes to mind is Lester Holt was there, but I can't remember the other
He's
names.
got horrid hair.
Lester Holt is a strange dude.
His hair bugs me.
Yeah, he's a weird dude.
he straight up told that to a CNN executive, he's like, I hate your network. Everyone's a liar, and you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. And he described the post-election coverage as a fucking firing squad.
Yeah, he's not wrong. I mean,
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all because they're full of crap.
And
Yeah,
then,
it was a
which
shit show.
Goes hand in hand with the Twitter attack on the New York Times. I personally I think he should just get off Twitter. I think it's for the best interest of his entire administration. If they just sat him down and said, Donald, this is an intervention.
Yeah,
We need you to delete your Twitter.
we're gonna take away your Twitter.
take away your
Yeah.
Twitter.
But
Maybe
you know
a
what?
good
I
thing.
do like the fact that he posts through the media and talks straight to us, which I enjoy.
I
because
guess you're right.
it's unadulterated. You know, it's
And-
nice
Yeah.
to see.
I mean, it could be described as like a direct line of communication to the people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, no media influence, no bias, no headlines, no context, nothing. Just straight up, boom.
Yeah.
To the people.
Yep.
It's I guess that is talking to us instead of at us through,
essentially.
through media.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Twitter's definitely not a bad thing. The problem is what Trump's doing now is
I think he should be supervised.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, yeah, I can agree with that as well. But what he's doing is he's taking all those left leaning, mainstream media essentially, because they're all left leaning minus Fox. So he's taking all these networks and he's restricting access to his administration, which really is a bad thing. Because now, I mean, I get it when before people didn't want to critique Trump too hard because they're like, hey, if you critique Trump too hard now, you're going to end up with Hillary Clinton, right? Which is a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I get that argument. You know what I mean? I never agreed with it. So I was not a fan of Trump, once he won the primaries. But regardless, Clinton's gone now. So now is the time to critique Trump when he's doing it good and when he's doing it bad. And so when
if the right people critique him on Twitter, he might just see it.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is that you really have to hold his feet to the fire, because now that he's restricting access to even though they're the left-leaning news networks, you have to get both sides. So Trump restricting access to all these left-leaning media networks is definitely a bad thing. So that definitely goes down as not a good thing for the Donald Trump campaign.
So Donald Trump campaign, he gave the day one agenda to executive actions to put America first.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he talked about a lot of great stuff that we have been looking forward to hearing. Major environmental deregulation, which is going to piss off the EPA.
Yeah.
But it could work out in the end. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, any deregulation, I'll generally be in support of. I mean, everything goes case by case. But he's also said for every new regulation that he puts up, he's going to take out 2 old ones, which I see as a good thing. I mean, forget that. Let's get rid of 10 regulations for everyone.
I do wonder, though, and maybe this is just me being dumb, but considering our show title, what if he takes away? He said it would be a law that once you put in a new regulation, you have to take away 2.
Yeah.
So
what do you
and
have
that's any federal regulation.
What
right?
if you have fucking 4 regulations and 3 of them are awesome?
Yeah.
I mean, do we put in a 5th one and all of a sudden the other 2 have to go away, or is that a case by case thing?
Well,
I think it's a case, but I think the 2 old I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think that the 2 old regulations that are being eliminated will be dated and previously failed.
Well, I'm unaware. I'm unaware of any specifics on the legislation.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So
I don't think anyone does. That's all he said about it.
Some more to come on that.
Yeah, there might be something within the Trump campaign, or I guess not campaign anymore.
Yeah,
administration. So basically, are the regulations going to be within the? Let's talk EPA. If you're going to put in a new EPA regulation, do the eliminated ones also have to be within the EPA? Nobody knows any of this stuff right now. But as a whole, as a general viewpoint, I think getting rid of regulations is generally a positive thing. But let's move on to other things on executive actions from the Trumpster.
5-year ban on White House officials becoming lobbyists.
Yeah.
Which I think is great.
It is. So essentially what it's doing is it's taking money out of politics.
Yep.
Which is the very nice way of saying corruption.
Yeah, but absolutely. So a politician gets out of office, and instead of picking up right where he left off in office, looking after his personal interests, his personal assets, and favors, quite frankly, he has to wait 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah. It removes the conflict of interest, which is fantastic because honestly, there is so much conflict of interest. I mean, they're up there with CEOs, and the CEOs are like, hey, nudge, nudge. You want a $1 million donation?
There's a huge example to be made here with big tobacco. So a politician gets out of office, he can't immediately get out and use that wave that he's been riding for the last however many years to start lobbying and endorsing and getting in with the FDA with big tobacco. He has to wait 5 years. And in that 5 years, so many things could change to where he comes out of it like, I don't even want that anymore.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Well, yeah, he's not going to be as valuable because what the lobbyists want to do is they want to inflict or they want to affect things while they're in office.
Exactly what you just said. That's perfect. 2 companies that need lobbyists after 5 years, those politicians aren't as valuable.
Yeah, it's going to be irrelevant. Yeah. So and also what it does, not only does it curb corruption, but guys that are in positions in the government, they can affect things to create situations. So let's say a company wants to get into the military contract, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're a high-ranking general, you can create the conditions that allow this company to get this massive contract, and then in turn, when you get out, you'll go work for them and bank all this tons of money. So not only does it curb corruption, but it curbs fraud, waste, and abuse. When guys are creating situations where money isn't supposed to be spent, they're creating the situations to benefit the companies that they're whoever they go to work for as lobbyists.
Absolutely. So there's a 5-year ban on lobbyists, on White House officials becoming lobbyists, and that's for in-house domestic lobbying. However, there's a proposed permanent ban on officials lobbying for foreign governments, which could be linked back to the energy deregulation when it comes to oil from the Middle East. You can't, now, if something has to do with a foreign government, it's banned for our officials to lobby for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's all about bringing...
all the same things apply. It's just taking money out of politics, which is the friendly way of saying corruption, legal corruption. So, I'm in support of that.
I absolutely.
Get rid of it.
So far, so good. Comprehensive plan to defend the United States from cyber attacks. As far as I'm concerned, that's defense spending.
Yeah.
Because last time I heard, the United States Air Force was the leader of national cyber defense.
Oh, airspace and
cyberspace.
Is that what
I think they teach that in their BMT.
I think that was on a T-shirt.
It's what we do every day.
It was definitely on a T-shirt.
It was definitely on a T-shirt. Airspace and cyberspace.
All right, so that's good. Obviously, the alternative would have been the lady that didn't know what the red C at the top of letters meant. You know what I mean? Classified.
So
that would have been
where that came from.
Our other guiding official. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. You'd have to get in the specifics.
Absolutely.
But sure, anything against cyber attacks.
Last touch point on that. What's up?
Nah, you're good. Go ahead.
Last point on that 1-day plan. Investigations of visa programs abuse. Now, this is important because it's all about illegal immigration. So, for those of you who don't quite know what that means, it's very simple. Visa program abuse. If someone comes in on a learning visa and attends the University of Arkansas in Little Rock, you have to remember that thousands of people come into the United States on an education visa a year.
Yeah.
Now, when that visa runs out, who's investigating on whether or not they're actually leaving the country? Or do they just sit here? And that's what that's talking about, is following up, being like, hey, your visa ran up.
Yeah.
Time to leave.
So, yeah, plenty of people overstay their visas. So that'd be a good thing. I mean, it's just more illegal immigration being curbed. I can't see that as a bad thing.
There's some good news coming up, though.
What's that?
The Trump immediately calls the family of a police officer shot in the line of duty. This happened on Monday.
I love that he does that.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Nothing against. Well, I'm going to stay impartial to the situation, but our current administration.
This is something no other president has done.
Exactly. Fair enough.
Well,
that's it.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say.
This is something Obama doesn't do.
Yeah, okay.
I was
something
Obama
doesn't do.
Obama does call people, but generally they're the victims of shootings, whether they're just or unjust.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's his focus.
And that's what bugs me.
Yeah, which is pandering to the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is by far Obama's concern. And then at the same time, he's going to ostracize the guys out there trying to protect the streets, which is just absurd. So it's good to see Trump going out. And and now also let me touch on this shooting real quick. When Obama does it, he'll do it regardless of good or bad, whether it was a good shooting. I'm talking about from the police.
Okay.
And so you could apply the same standard to policemen being shot, right? I mean, you always have to wait for the evidence. I'm not saying it's a good shoot, but I'm just saying you always have to wait for the evidence.
Well, I have to disagree with you on that one. Well, because regardless of the evidence, so the person in question that he called was the officer, which was Benjamin Marconi.
Yeah.
The person Trump called was his son. He had a young son, and Dane Gregory Marconi posted, just got off the phone with future President Trump. He sends his condolences to our family.
Yeah.
So regardless of what the circumstances of the shooting was, that family still lost a member, and that's who he called. He reached out to the son of the officer.
Well, something like this, we're not really waiting for an investigation. We know what the circumstances were.
Yeah.
He was executed.
Exactly.
He was executed. So there's not, this isn't like what was the situation?
No.
Like someone executed this guy.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to hear somebody in a position of power, and the greatest power we've got.
Yeah.
Call the guys that are out there doing it on the streets every day and giving their lives and protecting us and doing what they can to help us out. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
Police lives matter.
That's right.
All right. So Trump's going to revoke TPP.
TPP.
Yeah.
We talked about this before the show started, and honestly, I can't remember what it stands for.
Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Thank you.
So basically, TPP, it says free trade a lot. It's not free trade. It's just regulations between a bunch of mostly Asian countries. it's kind of irrelevant at this point because Trump's getting rid of it. So Mitch McConnell's confirmed. TPP's gone. So
it's a bunch of complicated shit that doesn't matter anymore.
Pretty much.
Fantastic. That's my
Pretty
favorite
much.
kind of complicated shit. Bad Trump.
All right. So recently, the Hamilton was like it's a Broadway show or something like that.
Yep.
We got Mal calling, so we're gonna see if we can get him on the line real quick because he wants to talk about the Trans-Pacific
Oh, you want to
Partnership.
hit on TVP?
Yeah.
I thought we decided we don't give a shit.
Well, we're working out the technicals of getting Mal on the show.
All right. Let's see.
Mal
what
announced
this
he's
Thursday
not
got to
here
say.
this week.
Let's see if we got him. Can we hear him?
He's on vacation in California.
Yeah, eating In-N-Out Burger.
Eating In-N-Out Burger. I've had. You guys are all
you
three
there?
from California.
Hey guys.
Hey, look at that. We can hear him.
I can't
Hey,
hear
what's
him.
up, Mal?
What's up, guys? I'm here with my buddy Mike number 2.
Here,
Here
let's
in
record.
California. I'm not really
It's
too
pointless.
concerned
I can hear
about
it. Just
TPP.
I can hear him. Ish.
You're talking over him now. Let me see your cord.
Okay. We're working.
All right,
out
Mal.
the-
You want to talk about TPP?
No, I'm not really too concerned about TPP. That shit's kibosh now that Trump's been elected. We can give you a general overview of it. All it is like a rehash of NAFTA with 10 other Pacific countries, coastal regions.
Yeah.
The idea was to supposedly devalue China's stance and their ability to devalue currency and all that. And it really gave a lot of power through intellectual property laws to a whole lot of corporate interest. It really doesn't matter anymore because it's not going to happen. We can do a separate video about TPP on the new podcast.
All right, I agree. TPP is just about as irrelevant as Hillary Clinton is.
Exactly. The two things we'll never talk about again.
You know they're going to come up next week, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah.
Every damn
All
time.
right, so right now we're on Hamilton right now, where Pence was kind of harassed at the Opera House. You want to touch on that a little bit?
Okay, yeah. So here's what happened with the Hamilton Gate scenario. So Mike Pence went to go see the Broadway show Hamilton. I think it was in New York. I want to say it was Broadway.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was in New York. And basically at the very end, they were greeted there by some boos and some cheering. And in the aftermath of this whole thing, as Pence and his family were trying to leave the venue, the whole cast came together at the end, kind of did their bows and said, Mr. Pence, we have a message for you. And they basically kind of berated Pence and his running mate Trump on stage and sort of, just kind of gave him the riot act about, equality and being everyone's president, blah, 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 blah. It was, you can see the video. We can throw a link up in the comments. I can do that. But the big thing here that actually happened, so then Trump obviously lashes out against the cast of Hamilton.
Yeah, the old Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
I just said this. He needs to be supervised.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he goes on a Twitter. Does he though? Because he goes on this Twitter rampage, and then in the aftermath, Media Buzz covers this whole Hamilton Gate thing for 2 or 3 days, saying that Trump was being, his typical Twitter addicted self, and then he goes and settles all of his lawsuits for the Trump University scandal, where he had the supposed Ponzi scheme of a university that he had a bunch of people pay into it and then never got anything out of it, or allegedly. Well, he settled all those cases in that couple of days. Yeah, I had no idea about that. Did you? Yeah, a lot of people didn't, because the Media Buzz ate everything up, and they didn't get a chance to report on it.
All right, so you're saying Trump is incredibly intelligent with his Twitter rant, which it just really flies in the face of what I think of Trump as a whole.
Yeah.
I don't know if Trump's that smart to play 6-dimensional chess. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, he did take what Romney had and kind of capitalize on it. And he saw, he's been a Democrat for forever. He was at Clinton Foundation fundraisers, all that kind of stuff. Or he was with the Clintons in the 90s. And he saw an opening,
Yeah. I mean, but Romney also got more votes than Trump did. So I don't know if praising Trump's intelligence, is, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's I don't know. That's a little too smart for Trump.
Well, but maybe it's the campaign manager. Maybe it's,
Conway,
somebody. I mean.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on from Hamilton Gate. Really not that important, just something I thought was kind of interesting to bring up.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, they kind of berated him, Trump attacks, but at the same time, was he playing
Actually, I will comment
chess?
one more thing. One more thing about the Hamilton Gate was just such an illustration of what a class act that Pence is. Because when he was asked about it a couple days later on some news network, I think it was Fox, probably.
Yeah.
He commented, when I heard this whole thing, I looked at my kids and I remembered, there was some boos and there were some cheers when we arrived there. And I looked at my kids and kind of nudged them and I said, you guys remember that's what freedom sounds like. And that, you know what, that's just such a above it all thing to say.
Yeah, definitely class act. He handled it very well. Trump in his shoes would have been a totally different story. But we saw that on Twitter. So very, very class act from Mike Pence. But moving on, so Trump's trying to put all these like trusts for his kids.
He's trying to hand this over to the kids. Yeah,
so instead of like separating himself from his business interests, he's kind of just putting them in his pocket. So far, it's not really looking like he's separating much at all. The same kids that he's saying he's oh look, I'm letting the kids run it. He's also bringing them in, with meetings with world leaders, which kind of like
I want to know what makes his kids qualified.
Well, I'm not really too worried about that as much as why is his kids running his company and then also involved with meetings with world leaders, because that's a real big conflict of interest, right? So let's flip the script real quick and let's say Hillary Clinton is meeting with world leaders
and Chelsea's there.
And then Chelsea's there, but Chelsea runs the Clinton Foundation now, right? She's like, oh, I don't run it. Chelsea runs it. And then Chelsea rolls into all these world leader meetings, and it would be completely absurd. And the right would be losing their damn minds. So definitely a bad thing from Trump. You have anything else for that, Mal?
No, I'm going to let you guys get back to it. I'll be calling back in a minute here.
All right, go
Please
away.
don't. Please don't.
Yeah, stay gone. It's going good till you got here.
Yeah. So Mal's on vacation in California, and he kind of left
all of us here
to do our own thing. So all of a sudden, the podcast is going to be successful.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's going to jump to 1,000 views.
We have currently viewing. We have 268 people viewing our podcast, and Mal's not here for the first time.
Wow, we are so popular.
We are
I
killing
think
it.
I just hated his face.
All right, so yeah, kids get involved in the administration while keeping hands in the business is a really bad thing.
I find it terrible. That's the best way I can describe it. I think it's.
Is it illegal?
No, I don't think so.
Is it one of those gray areas?
Is it more of a tradition thing, like frowned upon?
Well,
or?
So Trump likes to say that he's like nobody's had a situation like me, you know what I mean? Because obviously Donald Trump is very sure there's only one Donald Trump, right?
He's not completely wrong by saying no one's had a situation
I agree, not completely, but there are business owners. Like Mitt Romney's a very successful businessman, and he would have completely separated from his business. And past presidents have always separated themselves from their business interest. So
it's not a law thing; it's a tradition.
Mitt Romney might have given it to his kids.
I mean, maybe. He wouldn't have brought them in to meetings with leaders.
Absolutely not.
Side note, you know what kills me? Donald Trump is a billionaire or millionaire, whatever, successful businessman. He can't get a sweet toupee. Like, come on, man.
It's
just
not toupee, it's his real hair.
It can't be his real. Then get that hair plug thing or whatever. There's commercials, man.
Bosco or
Bosley.
Bosley.
That's what it is.
Bosley.
I mean,
that's
come on, Trump.
But I mean,
Yeah.
The official hair plug of the United States government.
Well, apparently money can't buy everything.
Money cannot buy
this is
hair,
very true.
Apparently. Or,
All right, so overall, him involving his children and the way he's handling his business is really bad. I think if this was Hillary Clinton, the right would be losing their minds.
Absolutely.
And right now they're kind of just turning... Well, the left is, but the right is kind of just leaving it alone. They're like, oh, it's fine. He's Donald Trump, you know what I mean? There's never been a Donald Trump.
There will never be a Donald Trump.
Which doesn't justify conflicting all of your interests. And when asked about this, Trump pretty much said, I can't have conflict of interest. I'm the president. And you're like, okay, that's
and
great.
see, I like that, though, that we mentioned that on the show, because it shows that we're discussing all this. Like, it's all a discussion. The more we learn, the more the more the people learn, then they can figure stuff out for themselves and decide. And it's, we're non-biased.
Yeah, I definitely want to keep it honest.
Yeah.
I get the argument before Trump was president. When Hillary Clinton was the alternative, I understand you not critiquing Trump as hard as you probably should. Did I agree with that logic? No, but Hillary's gone now, So
it's time to put the feet to the fire.
Let's call it like it is. Yeah, let's call it like it is. And when Trump does bad things, let's call it like it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad things,
Bannon.
So Bannon's pushing. Apparently, Bannon's the brain behind this, but he's pushing this $1 trillion.
Sorry, we just gotta give a shout out to Ryan Waller. He asked for an honorary mention.
What's up, Ward?
What up?
What's up, Ryan?
Oh, Baker, show us your tits.
Please don't. Please don't.
There it is.
All right. So, so Bannon's apparently the brain behind this like $1 trillion infrastructure plan. It's kind of like Obama stimulus round 2. Not a very conservative thing to do.
And when we say infrastructure, we're talking highways, bridges,
airports, the steel industry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that there isn't some shit that needs to be updated. I'm not going to say that we're in a perfect place inside of our infrastructure. Even here where we're located, there's some things that could be improved upon.
Yeah.
Sure. I just don't think that
really,
$1 trillion infrastructure plan is the way to do it. Obama already tried this, so it's not a surprise that Trump's sticking to the leftist agenda.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Talk about spending certain areas, spending money in certain areas. He's costing New York a fortune.
Yeah. So is he still holding on to that? He's going to live at the Trump Tower?
I think he had talked about this last week.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about it last week.
Then the latest development that it's Ivanka who wants to stay in the Trump Tower.
Really?
Not necessarily Mr. President-elect Trump.
Well, who gives a shit what Ivanka wants?
As the First Lady, taxpayers
that's his daughter, but...
Ivanka?
Yeah.
Same thing. Melania.
Okay, she's the one.
Her and the kids want to stay in Trump Tower because that's where all of their assets are. And like we just said, some of the assets and businesses, and stocks and bonds are being turned over to the kids.
Yeah.
And everything's run out of Trump Tower.
See, I see it
so much. Trump Tower is luxury condominiums.
Yeah.
Trump Tower is it's a high rise.
Yeah.
It's Trump Enterprises.
It just looks like a target to me, and that's
a huge target.
And I don't think that's smart. I think that's, I think it's a bad way to go. I mean, obviously, you're going to sit there and go, oh, well, the White House is a target too. Well, yeah, no shit, we get that. But I mean, we've already had issues there. I mean, New York gets terrorist threats, all the time.
5th Street has been shut down so many times in the process of the campaign.
And I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure everyone's going to say, well, the White House is a target. They get terrorist threats too. But I mean, it's the White House. It's the most closely protected building, around.
As we've seen, unfortunately, in history.
Yeah.
An open sky is vulnerable.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to step on any toes there, but it's going to cost New York an ass ton of money. It's going to be a huge inconvenience for people who have shelled out the money already to just live in Trump Tower or live around Trump Tower.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he can.
the White House has been designed to accommodate a lot of different lifestyles.
And all the frickin' the bunkers and the safe spaces and the whatever, God knows what they have under that place. But the fact that, they're not going to build all that shit under Trump Tower. So, I mean,
hopefully it's all just Trump being Trump.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it happens. I don't think it should happen either.
And it's going to cost so many people so much money.
It's going to cost a ton of money. And he likes to say he's going to let go of his $400K he's making every year. And then he's going to spend it in costs to move between Trump Tower.
Yeah.
I dropped it.
Good.
So, all right. So here we go. Back to Clinton. So Clinton.
Back to Clinton?
Yeah. Clinton. Trump has pretty much said he's not going to prosecute her. And Kellyanne Conway's campaign manager went on the air and legit says that we should help her heal, which is like a very stark contrast from chants at rallies yelling, lock her up, lock her up.
Absolutely. If she wants time to heal, there's safe spaces for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Trump's trying to build one for her. So, so Trump's backing down on yet another promise.
That's a giant letdown.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really wanted to see her prosecuted.
Yeah.
But apparently there's a little insider baseball that Sessions is going to try and prosecute her. Trump's already kind of come out and told the DOJ how to do their job, which is a bad thing. It's kind of politicizing the DOJ because Trump can't prosecute anyone. That's not their role. Congress can't prosecute anyone. That's the role of the DOJ, which is supposed to be separate from the executive. So Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's checks and balances.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've already seen from
kicking at 7th grade
from Obama. Speaking of scandals, Obama really politicized the DOJ and had them specifically targeting conservative groups. One of the many Obama scandals. And he really politicized the DOJ. So coming out and seeing Trump say something like, kind of telling the DOJ how to do their job, and then Kellyanne Conway came on behind him and was like, yeah, they're going to listen to what he says, is not a good thing. He's if it was Obama doing it, everybody'd be losing their mind.
Yeah.
So definitely, and by losing their mind, I'm talking about the right. They're kind of just letting these things go. So hopefully we can hold Trump to the fire, because politicizing DOJ, definitely bad. But apparently, there's an insider baseball that Sessions may go after her after all,
as the Attorney General.
Yeah, so we'll see. Who knows?
I think it'd be good. I wouldn't,
Yeah, I'm for it. I mean, if she broke the law, then I think that she should be prosecuted.
Exactly.
I don't think that money in politics should affect.
Now,
I don't care what level you're at. If you broke the law, go.
Now, I agree. But if that's the case, I don't want speculation. I don't want the FBI to be all flippy floppy. Well, she got this. I want hard, published, transparent evidence behind that prosecution.
Yeah, well,
everyone can just be like, settle it and move on.
Yes,
we're already very well aware that she obstructed justice,
absolutely,
and destroyed. She was subpoenaed and then destroyed evidence. So that's contempt of court and obstruction of justice. She did that. We know she did that.
Oh yeah, and the Clintons have always been like that.
There's no arguing whether she did or didn't. But the argument against it is that what Trump is kind of like sending his hound dogs after her, because she's the political enemy of the Trump campaign.
Yeah,
and so that looks bad too. And so that's kind of like the argument against it. I mean, obviously, I don't agree. It's just
I mean, I think he should go with whatever. As far as according to the FBI and the evidence says, I think he should go after whatever laws were broken.
He shouldn't do anything.
Well, no,
that's the DOJ's
that's
role.
What we're saying.
Exactly.
So,
but he can, say, hey, you guys should probably investigate this. I mean,
I don't really think he should have much say in it, because he's saying the opposite right now, and we're critiquing it.
Oh well, yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I think she should be prosecuted. Donald Trump had everybody yelling "lock her up" at a rally 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and now he says that we should help her heal. So there's that. Take it for what it is.
And she does look like Emperor Palpatine, so
she does look. She got so evil. Bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It got rough.
Oh, those weekly Botox sessions just couldn't hold up.
She was promised facelifts on the premise that she would win. And
is that how she was paying for those?
Yeah, that was. She was like, I will inject collagen into your face if you win.
George Soros said he'd provide this for free.
And wouldn't be surprised. All right, so Obama's planning on staying in the political arena. Apparently, there's some rumors of him looking for a leadership position within the UN.
Within the UN?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we got a comment. So David Rippey says, did the same happen with the FBI and the White House being called out concerning the emails? It died down because otherwise it would have proven incredible amounts of corruption. Any thoughts on that?
Well, if this is the beginning of the end of the political correct era,
you're talking about why she wasn't prosecuted under the Obama administration?
I guess so. I think
definitely because they were politicized.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's what he's getting at.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the name right now. I guess current head of the DOJ is very much in Obama's pocket.
Yeah.
When they were talking about the prosecution, I'm blanking on the name right now, but the head of the DOJ was like taking private plane rides with Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want to talk about politicized, you know what I mean? Like, what are they talking about, the game the weekend?
She's
and then
the
also
one that,
if they're going to prosecute her.
Yeah, she's the one that...
Absurd.
Didn't she meet Bill on the plane? Wasn't that the thing?
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I'm just really blanking on the name right now. But either way, super politicized, and Obama has done that very aggressively.
Loretta Lynch, that's what it was.
Loretta Lynch. All right. So, definitely bad, and I hate to see it from Donald Trump.
If Obama stays in the political arena, can this end up good for the Republican?
So, because a lot of people on the left are like, "Is this a good thing for us or bad?" And Obama's so liked personally. A lot of people are fans of it, but honestly, me personally, I think it's great for the Republican Party.
Explain.
Because, this past election has been pretty much the repudiation of Obama, and so.
Ooh, this is Idiolitics. What does repudiation mean?
It's just like
Idiolitics, dumbass.
Yeah. Well, now I have to
You
define
idiot.
words. I'm too dumb for that. So pretty much, the country is going against what Obama tried to put into action. All the whole PC culture, Obamacare, all these things that Obama is like really pushed for. Ostracizing our law enforcement, all these things that Obama has done. America don't like it,
No.
So, and keeping him in the Democratic Party, not only does it show that they have no one, like the Democratic Party is in array right now. Like they are a mess. They have no one left.
They don't know what to do with their hands.
They're doubling down on the same stuff that lost them the election. The whole misogynist, racist, every white male is the worst person on the planet.
Absolutely.
They're just doubling down because they don't have anything, And so keeping Obama keeping Obama in the party just shows how desperate they truly are.
So the Democrats agreeing to let Obama remain in politics could be just a fucking Hail Mary.
Well, yeah, I guess so. They have nobody, so it's not a surprise. I wouldn't, it doesn't surprise me at all.
More current events. All 4 major stock indexes closed at record high, or have been, I will say that.
Yeah,
have
repeatedly.
Been, not didn't,
Yeah,
but have been closing at record highs since the election. I don't know if that's because Trump is an outspoken capitalist or maybe just the markets are reacting to the close of the election, and maybe they would be doing the same thing if the other party had won. But I think
don't
it's
think so.
No,
I don't think so.
No,
I asked an open-ended question.
But that doesn't mean that this is a good thing. Obviously, I guess the Trump, they're kind of betting on Trump being a success. But honestly, I don't know enough about the stock market to say whether it's a good thing.
Not gonna lie, that shit's confusing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I look at it, I'm like,
the way I understand it is
I understand most of it.
when things
I
blow
watched
up like
Wolf of
this-
Wall Street.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. So
Oh, of
you're
course.
professional.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm legit on this. I totally know.
Yeah, so when things like this close at that blow up like this, it's kind of putting us in a bubble. So if things don't work out, it could end up really bad. But honestly, I don't know enough to comment too much on stock. I know that my stock account is actually, I'm like plus more than I ever have been in.
David said that's what happened. That's what happens when you don't elect the Antichrist.
Yeah. Touche.
The stock market reacts accordingly. Yeah, no, I have stocks, but mine are all simulated. I started with $10,000, and it was
Big ballin'.
big ballin',
Absolutely.
and I don't know how they're doing.
Yep. All right. So Obama, in a last-ditch effort to turn himself into a celebrity, has awarded 21 medals of freedom.
All right. Medals of Freedom.
Yeah.
What are they?
Yeah,
All I know about him is that it's like the highest honor for a civilian.
And if any of you guys in the comments know, make sure you throw one up there. And if you have an idea of what it is Baker asked
I
earlier.
figured out. I mean, I have the definition pulled up, but
give us the definition.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the textbook definition of the Medal of Freedom: the Presidential Medal of Freedom is an award bestowed by the President of the United States and is, along with comparable Congressional Gold Medal, the highest civilian award in the United States. Now, we have a lineup of who received some of the 21 Medals of Freedom given. Ellen DeGeneres, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, both of whom are outstanding athletes. Tom Hanks, who is
Love Tom
America's dad.
He is.
And
Yeah,
maybe
there's a bunch of others.
yeah, there's a bunch
Yeah.
of others. I had a question or an idea. Maybe the Medal of Freedom in the United States is comparable to a knighthood.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Because I mean, look at some of the knights in
England.
England.
Yeah.
There is Sir Elton John and Sir Ian McKellen and Sir.
There's quite a few. They have OBE too as well.
Yeah.
I'll look up what that
And
is.
those are all prominent entertainers
Okay.
and theater actors. So maybe it's just like,
So here's my position on the Medals of Freedom. I don't give a flying fuck.
I
just
do.
don't
I
care.
want one.
I don't care. It's just a way to make celebrities feel more special. There's a couple like really outstanding people, like a couple physicists and stuff like that don't get recognition, and so I feel like putting them on a big stage with the president is a good thing. But I for the most part, I could care less. I just don't give a shit.
So we got a comment from David. Do y'all feel Obama earned his Nobel Peace Prize?
No
No.
comment.
Oh, God. I don't see a lot of peaceful things going on, but I don't know the ins and
No,
outs.
I think he's separated our country on
Yeah.
a racial divide. Done a mess with the Middle East.
Oh,
just
God, yeah.
made like a terrible Iran deal.
Yep.
If Tom Hanks could get a Medal of Freedom, I think I could too.
This is the second time today you compared yourself to Tom Hanks.
That's true.
And
I
I
have
think you
been
were
called-
really stretching that. I don't know.
I have been called the Tom Hanks of my generation, and I am repeatedly
so
compared
Tom
to Clint
Hanks isn't
Eastwood.
dead yet, but I don't know if you could compare yourself
I
to Tom Hanks.
can.
I don't know if you should compare yourself to much.
I
You're a one of a
I
kind,
am
Baker.
I am often confused for Clint Eastwood as well.
Really?
A young Clint Eastwood.
A young Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I figured his kid would be compared to
No,
him. But,
no,
but
they
it's Baker.
confuse me.
Yeah.
It's Baker.
It's yeah.
No, that one I see. Yeah, it's just the tall, thin, chiseled chin line.
Yeah.
That's
It
what
is.
really just gives it away.
It's a rounded chin line now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I passed that PT test and everything went to shit.
All right. Let's press on.
Richard Spencer. Now that's the neo-Nazi, right?
That's the neo-Nazi.
Oh, he's
Yep.
my favorite.
Um,
That's gonna get
Richard
misconstrued.
Spencer is also the leader of the alt-right.
We told you
there's
guys
that.
last week what the alt-right was.
Yeah, where's Mal at? Let's get him to talk about
Yeah.
this.
All right.
Yeah, pull him
Again,
Yeah, I
All
know.
right. Let's see.
we're never gonna be successful if we have to rely on him.
Can we hear
I
you?
hate
Mal?
dealing with Nazis.
Well, then you're never going to be successful,
What
motherfucker.
up?
All right.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Nazis.
Okay, so the neo-Nazis, yay.
Yay.
Okay, so the Atlantic, which is an online news source, has
Yeah.
published this video of Richard Spencer leading a rally for, I can't remember what the actual group it's called. It's one of his, it's like the American Policy Institute or some shit like that. Some rehashed fucking facade for a neo-Nazi group.
Yeah.
So Spencer has, so a little bit on Spencer. So Richard Spencer has popularized the term the alt-right, and we talk about the alt-right a lot. We'll make a distinction here in a minute. To describe the movement he leads, Spencer has said his dream is quote, a new society, comma, an ethno-state, meaning an ethnicity-based state that would be a gathering point for all Europeans, and has called for a peaceful ethnic cleansing, end quote.
Jesus.
Now that
All right. So also, I'm just
someone said that before. Who was that?
Yeah, I know. Who could
Was
you
it
be?
literally
Literally Hitler.
Literally
That guy.
Hitler.
Okay,
Finally, we found one.
Also, when in an interview when he was asked about his peaceful ethnic cleansing, they were like, "So you just want people to like leave voluntarily?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, it could also be bloody too. Like that's maybe also an option.
That's
Like
also
that
an
could be a thing too." So this is the guy we're dealing
Oh
with.
my
So
here.
we're gonna beat him over the head with a club before we kill him, so they don't feel it, and that's how he.
Yeah,
quantifies
exactly. Yeah,
Oh
what a
my
peaceful
goodness.
cleansing.
Uh,
All right,
it. Okay,
I
so
did a cleanse
when we-
once.
So
Probably
here's
wasn't very
the issue
peaceful.
here. So we need to talk about the alt-right, and we
Yeah.
need to make a clear distinction about what the alt-right is versus what the new conservative movement that has sort of conflated itself unknowingly with the alt-right.
yeah,
So
I got one pulled up.
go ahead.
All right, so Webster's dictionary defines alt-right as a loose group of people with far-right ideologies who reject mainstream conservatism in the United States. The alt-right has no formal ideology, although various sources have stated white nationalism is fundamental. So
Fundamental?
fundamental.
It's a new thing.
Fundamental.
And I'm gonna.
You're making up people. You're making up words. God, Baker.
Dude, I've got a friend that says, just let me be Pacific about this, okay?
yeah.
Every time, like, go for it, dude. I'm going to be so Mediterranean, you won't even know.
I use that one all the time.
Yeah.
I love it.
It has also been associated with white supremacism, Islamophobia,
Yeah.
Okay, so
homophobia.
let's-
So the alt-right
Okay,
likes
so-
to define itself as less than white supremacy. Even Spencer defines it as kind of like, you read his definition and you're like, well, that doesn't sound all that bad, But
Okay, well,
get into
what
what
we
it
need to do-
really is. Go ahead,
What
Mal.
we need to do is make a distinction between, again, the new conservative movement that has liked to associate itself, kind of like flirted with the alt-right, has flirted with the alt-right a little bit, and we need to make sure this doesn't become a broad sweeping definition of all conservatism, because that would be a very bad thing.
Yeah.
the new people like us, the Idiolitics cast, we're all sort of this in this sort of same pool of trolly anti-PC characters. We like to talk about Harambe and share Pepe memes, and we're just sort of mischievous, and we don't really get our feelings hurt that well, and we don't like the boundary lines drawn by the left and the social justice movement that restrict and censor us in that way. And that's sort of how the alt-right defines itself, because it really kind of jives well, especially when you're talking about erasing these sort of cultural lines. When you want to start integrating neo-Nazi philosophy, you kind of have to not be politically correct. So that's sort of the insidious nature of this ethno-nationalist movement that has really started itself within Russia and other European countries, and really is just, a rehash of Nazism. And that is not what mainstream conservatism is. It doesn't speak for a large majority of the conservative vote. This is not us. We are not the alt-right. And I'll make that distinction right now. Idiolitics is not and does not, we disavow the alt-right.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone should know that we are not alt-right. This is not an alt-right based production. We're just here to dumb everything down, kind of.
Yeah,
so the only thing. Go ahead.
Sorry, I think we're here to discuss all options. I think all of us and
all of them except for ethnic cleansing.
Well, yeah, definitely. But I think we're here to discuss every single one and figure out what is best, what is not best, and listen to different people's opinions, because that's the thing that a lot of sides don't do, is they don't frickin' listen to the other side at all. They don't even try and put themselves in somebody else's shoes in any way, shape, or form.
If you need someone to listen, you have my phone number.
Such a sweetheart.
You're so nice.
So, Steve Bannon has praised... Sorry, what's up?
No, I was about to say that. Go ahead.
Steve Bannon has praised Spencer before as an intellectual. An intellectual racist? Is that... is that a thing?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know. I thought that was up there with blonde scientists and jumbo shrimp.
Oh my god.
Man, this is sort of like Bannon's go-to. He likes to affiliate with the dark. We've heard him. What's that quote by Bannon? Vader, Cheney. What was the other one he used? Vader. Cheney,
I can't finish it for you. I remember it, but I can't finish it for you.
Anyways, he basically likes to think of himself as like a Darth Vader type, like sort of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Because he finds that darkness is powerful. So he, like a lot of folks on the right and on the internet, like to sort of flirt with the darkness that exists within the alt-right. But I don't think there's ever an excuse to flirt with Nazism.
No.
I think that if the whole Leninist thing has sort of been debunked, and we'll talk about that later. There's really no proof that he's actually a self-proclaimed Leninist. And Bannon actually talks about this in the Wall Street Journal in an interview they did with him. That's actually completely taken out of context from some dude who met him at a party one time and said something about the whole Leninist thing. So not actually a self-proclaimed Leninist. But if he were a Leninist, then flirting with stuff like neo-Nazism and these sort of darker reaches, that does jive with that philosophy.
Yeah.
Because what better way to burn things down than to involve these folks who like to flirt with ethnic cleansings of the peaceful variety.
Yeah.
So, are you guys familiar with New Balance shoes?
Yeah. Yes.
What?
Yeah. No. Now, neo-Nazis have declared New Balance shoes the official shoes of white people.
Really?
That was an actual thing.
That's a broad statement.
It includes Richard Spencer's quotes as well as a thing from Richard Spencer declaring white New Balance shoes the official shoe of the white people. And
because there would be protests of New Balance shoes.
I am not for New Balance shoes. I am neither retired nor have one leg longer than the other.
Let it be known that this program officially disavows New Balance shoes.
Yes, we are boycotting. If you're listening to this, we assume that you're with us. Otherwise, you're against us. We are boycotting New Balance.
Unless they were thinking about sponsoring us, in which case
unless
we are
they were
all
thinking about a
Yeah,
sponsorship.
well, I'm still waiting on Big Oil. That's kind of my main goal here.
It's to get sponsored by Big
To
Oil.
get sponsored?
Big Oil, Big Pharma. Those are the ones I want. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Get some
Oh boy.
get some sweet microphones.
If we haven't gotten an endorsement offer by the Koch brothers, then we've done something wrong. Because
Right.
they endorse everyone.
They do endorse
Right.
everybody. They're everywhere.
All this said, Mr. Bannon explains that he's on a sabbatical from Breitbart and has had nothing to do with the site since August 15th when he joined the Trump campaign. Now he will take an extended leave of absence and cut all association with the site while I'm working at the pleasure of the, and then you just scroll down. president. He has that Breitbart didn't get a scoop.
He's going
campaign.
to pleasure the president.
He is going to pleasure the president.
I know, that wouldn't surprise all that.
He has that Breitbart didn't get a scoop from the campaign from the minute I took over. They've had to scramble like everyone else.
Yeah. So, and on top of us disavowing the alt-right, Trump has also gone out of his way to disavow the alt-right. So that's a good thing. The only so the end of that quote. I mean, I don't have the quote in front of me, but he disavows the alt-right.
I don't think he wears New Balance shoes either.
I don't think he does. No, I don't think he does. And so at the end of this quote, he goes, "I like don't know why these guys are empowered, and I would hope that they're not, and I just have no idea why."
Well, what he says is that I personally don't want to energize the group, and if they are being energized, I would like to take a look at it and figure out why they are being energized.
I've got a guess.
What's that?
Bringing Steve Bannon onto your administration.
Good God.
That might do it.
Yeah.
Could be why. Could be it.
What's up next? Oh, huge news coming from the south of Florida region.
Down on that bottom half of the map. I don't know. There's a map behind you.
Oh, shit.
Which one is it?
I'm talking about Cuba specifically. Fidel Castro has died at 90 years old.
Right. Death of a dictator.
Yes. Death of a dictator.
Wait. Everybody hold the phones.
All right.
Has anyone told Colin Kaepernick, is he okay?
He did just make that. He did just endorse him the other day.
Oh man.
Should we call Kaepernick?
No. I wonder if he's going to be on both knees now.
He'll be on both.
That poor guy.
I hate his hair so much. It bugs me.
Oh yeah. So what do you know? Kaepernick's an idiot.
Idiolitics also officially disavows Colin Kaepernick's hair.
Thank you.
So there we go.
It's a busy week.
It's a busy week. We have a list.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put up a running list of what we disavow.
All right. So Castro's dead. Go ahead. You have something to say about Castro dying?
Well, yeah. Did
you kill him?
No, I heard he had information that could lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
Oh, really? Yeah.
and all of a sudden he's dead.
What do you know?
Castro has ruled Cuba over a period that spans 7 decades and 11 U.S. presidents. That's a long.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, a couple different Castros.
He got elected. Wait.
Well,
no, I don't think he ever got elected.
That's the thing with dictators; they just kind of take over the government.
Fidel Castro outlived 6 of those presidents.
Yeah. Yeah, so why is it the bad guys that get to live till 90?
No
90?
shit.
90? Really? Like, where's the justice in that? Fidel Castro makes it to 90.
And him dying is, and I'm not trying to sound morbid or anything, but it's good. Cuban citizens, it's great. Cuban citizens have been systematically deprived of their fundamental rights to free expression, privacy, association, assembly, movements, and most importantly, due process of law. Tactics for enforcing these political conformities have included everything from police warnings, surveillance, short-term detentions, house arrests, criminal prosecutions, which is, not really a thing if they're being denied process of law, and politically motivated dismissals from employment. It was in really bad shape.
It is in bad shape, and Cuba is still dictator controlled.
Yeah, so, I was about to ask.
So it hasn't really got any better. I mean, Fidel Castro's death is definitely something worth celebrating, but the country is still in disarray.
Do we know who's?
Yeah, it's a son. It's a son.
Fidel Castro. Yeah.
Castro? So in the
very American.
You talking, Mal?
No, go ahead.
Shut your mouth.
Shut the hell up.
All right. So there's been a couple, big name politicians coming out with statements about this, namely President Obama, President-elect Trump, and then one that I feel like has a little more weight to it was Rubio, right? Because he's of Cuban descent. And it's so weird seeing Obama write these tweets that are essentially, he's just giving condolences.
Yeah, he gave condolences to the family.
That sounds weird.
It's condolences. My condolences.
I'll talk about that.
Your dog died.
Hey, Mal, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
I can't even hear him. I took my headphones off.
So yeah, and he's pretty much giving condolences to their family, not to mention the hundreds of people that he has murdered. So it's just absurd.
It was in
praise,
pretty bad shape down there, man.
Praise a dictator in real. It just makes me sick.
My coffee's cold.
So you guys want to let's move on from old Fidel, because he's
all right.
He's dead.
He did.
He is dead.
All right. What is our time at?
Let's move on to the Trump cabinet. I think
we're at an hour.
We're at an hour.
So
all right, we're running out of time. Let's hit all the cabinet members real quick, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay, so start from the top. I'm gonna take my headphones off. Does Mal really need to be here still?
No. Bye, Mal.
Bye.
And he's gone.
Okay.
All right. Thank
like
goodness. Okay.
General Mattis. Mad Dog Mattis.
Mad Dog Mattis. All right. It's
When
for
dope
Secretary of
motherfucker.
Defense, right?
Secretary of Defense.
I don't think that's confirmed yet.
Well, he's the only one who's been talked about.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm unaware of anyone else in the running.
He's a former Marine general. Surprised Trump by calling waterboarding ineffective. Give me a couple beers and a pack of cigarettes, and I'll find a better way to do it with that.
Yeah. He's a hard ass.
Yeah, he's
awesome. Yeah, here, I'm gonna throw another Mattis quote in there. So, and I quote: "I come in peace. I didn't bring artillery, but I'm pleading with you with tears in my eyes. If you fuck with me, I will kill you all."
That's just beautiful.
And that's
It's
amazing.
fantastic.
I want that on my gravestone.
So that guy's Secretary of Defense. Like, I don't even need to know anything
I
else.
heard another story about him as well. He was a brigadier general at the time or whatever, and there was another general visiting the base, and he went to go see him, or he went to go see somebody at the CQ or whatever, and the was like a private or somebody working, and he was like, "Where's this guy?" And he was like, "Oh, he's not here. Who's the on-duty officer?" He's like, "Oh, it's Brigadier General Mattis." And he was like, "Quit fucking with me, Marine. It's not Brigadier General Mattis. Why would he be here?" And it was.
Yeah.
He took a guy's shift, a younger officer's shift during Christmas, so that officer could go home and be with his family.
Yeah.
And Brigadier General worked that guy's position.
Yeah.
CQ.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a real stand-up guy. The little bit of reading I've done about him. I mean, I know he's very well liked among peers as well.
Yeah.
Which I think, especially in a military position,
And the military as a whole has received this nomination, an idea of him becoming the Secretary of Defense quite well.
Yeah. So like he's looked at, as a whole as a good guy, but even amongst his personal peers, he's very well liked. So,
That's always a good quality.
That's a good thing, especially because if you're going to be dealing with a bunch of powerful people, being able to communicate and not make enemies everywhere you go is a good thing.
And he knows how it's ran. If you look at, for example, the current Secretary of the Air Force, she has no military background.
Yeah,
But she's
I
in
think
charge.
isn't it a civilian role? I don't know.
Yeah, I
It
thought
is a
that
civilian
was,
role,
yeah.
but so is Secretary of Defense. But being a veteran,
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely a super good thing. Good, I'm good with it. Good pick.
Good.
All right, so CIA
you're
director
going to say this wrong.
Pompey.
It's Pompeo.
It's Pompeo.
I'm going with Pompey. I feel like it's Pompey.
No, that was a
Someone
song by...
comment and confirm or deny. It's Pompey, not Pompeo.
Pompey
CIA
is a
director.
song by Coldplay.
I'm gonna keep going with Pompey. He's a Kansas congressman, also a vet.
Former Army tank officer.
Yeah, conservative guy, mostly good things. He's anti-Iran deal. He was part of the investigation with Trey Gowdy for Clinton's in the whole Benghazi incident.
Benghazi.
Yeah, and he actually said that Trey Gowdy was too soft. And whenever anyone that says Trey Gowdy is too soft is probably a hard ass. I mostly think it's a good pick. The only real bad thing with Pompey is that he is much for.
Koch
Go ahead.
brothers, didn't he?
I don't really know anything about that. We have it in our notes here, but maybe Mal can comment on that another time. Drop it in the comments about this Koch brothers with Pompey. I don't know anything about it, to be honest, but I do know that he was very much for mass surveillance.
The NSA.
Yeah, so I'm not a supporter of mass surveillance. I think it's definitely a bad thing.
But
But other than that, I support it.
did you know? This sounds made up to me.
Yeah.
But the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development.
Oh, really?
That sounds like a made up job.
It does sound like a
Which
made-up
is
job.
perfect that
Yeah.
it might not be a real government office because
Yeah.
Ben Carson is up for it.
Yeah, good thing he doesn't have to do anything
Because,
because
yeah.
apparently he's unqualified.
Yeah, didn't he
Well,
say
he's
that last week?
qualified now. Last week. he
Last
said,
week. So
I-
7 days.
7
Well-
days. In 7 days, he went from turning down Secretary of Education because he felt unfit to hold the government office to Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. I think he's qualified for the job, actually,
Why
because
is
not
that?
only has he lived in a house, but he's black, which really plays to the urban development scene.
That is almost racist.
Oh, yeah, it's very. That's
if you listen closely,
You're towing the line.
Okay,
Section.
so yeah, he's put in there because he's been loyal to Trump this whole time.
Yeah.
And because he's black. That's why he was put in this position.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Trump's just trying to kind of disband the whole racism thing by putting a black guy in office.
Okay.
And that's really probably why he's there. I don't really know what urban and housing development
Sounds like
office
infrastructure,
does.
if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't really know the specifics of his role. I think it's bad. I think it's dumb. I used to like Carson, but the more I get to know him, the less I like him. So
He
I
was
think
America's
it's a bad
nice
pick.
guy.
Look, I don't understand why Dr. Ben Carson, doctor being keyword, is not a Surgeon General. I mean, why does he not have that position? I mean, he's been in hospitals his entire life. He's dedicated more than half his life.
Neurosurgeon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, well, why not put that guy in the medical career field? I mean,
Yeah.
Because that would make too much goddamn sense.
every time.
Yep, dumb pick. I don't really care about it, to be honest.
I prefer it at this
but
point.
it's going to
after
be fun to critique Carson for the next couple of years.
That is
Yeah.
like the only good thing that's coming out of this.
True.
All right, moving on. Michael Flynn is the National Security Advisor. This one has been confirmed. Also a veteran.
General. He's a retired lieutenant
Army General, former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency. So this guy's a registered Democrat that was actually fired from the Obama administration. I believe this is the guy fired from the Obama.
Yeah, he was fired for hardline views.
Maybe is this the guy? I think he was.
Well, he was fired for hardline views on Islamic extremism, which doesn't play well with...
Okay, yeah, it's right there. All right, so yeah, the Obama administration fired this guy because they said he was like, hey, Islam and Sharia law is dangerous. And they were like, Islamophobia, Islamophobia. And they all just lost their minds.
How'd that go again?
Well,
Yeah.
no
I've
repeats on this show. Sharia law.
Oh, have you?
Oh, is that on the list?
Now I don't know if
disavow.
that's I don't know if that's on behalf of ArguAV, but I just said that wrong.
You said the words wrong?
I said ArguAV,
I does know how to
which is
speak.
something completely. I don't know if that's on behalf of Idiolitics, but I disavow.
Well, we officially
law.
disavow Baker.
Add both of those things to the list.
Baker's
So yeah,
definitely on the list.
anyone accused by the Democrats of being Islamophobe for having reasonable views of Sharia law is decent in my book. I don't know a ton about Flynn, so I'm not going to comment on it too much.
No.
Maybe how Mal
But I
can
do
drop
know
it
a
in the
little about
comments.
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley, she's the UN ambassador.
That's confirmed.
Yep, and this is another one of those token. She's female of Indian descent, so I think it's Trump just trying to position his "I'm not a racist" thing.
It has to be because he's a racist misogynist.
Exactly right.
That's what I keep on hearing.
Yep,
It's
that's
a-
what they
it's a
say.
power play.
That's what they say. So
I think it's worth mentioning that she has no foreign policy experience.
yeah, I think
She's
that's
the
worth mentioning.
foreign-
But let's not forget that she's working for the UN, so she just has to yell useless things at other useless people to talk about useless nonsense. So I'm not
So
too
she's
worried
useless.
about. Yeah, she's useless, and she's also a possible. So she could potentially primary Donald Trump in 4 years. So not only is he putting an Indian of the female descent, I guess I said that backwards, a female of the Indian descent in his administration, but he's also getting rid of a possible rival.
And she's just coming off of being the governor of South Carolina.
She might currently be the governor. I think that role gets moved down to whoever, like the. I'm not sure how it works. I won't comment on it.
I know nothing about politics.
Okay, yeah.
That's why you're here.
Anyways, so Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Education is
Betsy
confirmed.
DeVos.
Betsy DeVos. Yep.
No, it's DeVoe.
Mal said that the lieutenant governor takes over.
Okay.
So everyone
So
knows.
yeah, the lieutenant governor takes over for South Carolina. Nikki Haley is moving into the useless spot in the useless UN. Alrighty. Betsy is overall a good pick, I think.
No, absolutely not. Ask me why.
Why, Baker?
Common Core.
Common Core.
She's
yeah.
a supporter of Common Core.
Yeah, big supporter of
which is-
Common Core.
You are?
I'm against Common Core.
I thought she was against it.
No,
She is not.
She supports it.
She supports.
Oh, God.
But she is a very big advocate of vouchers and charter
Privatized schools.
charter schools, and so that's a good thing. Definitely against the Common Core. Hopefully she doesn't push it. I don't know. I don't know a ton about.
For future subject matter, I want to go to the people watching. I'd like to see what everyone in general thinks of Common Core, because in my opinion, it's bad, it's useless, didn't need to be implemented, and it's just confusing as hell.
Okay, so I actually was it last week's show or maybe the week before? We had a teacher call in and correct us on some of the examples we use for Common Core, and so I don't want to get too much into the nuts and bolts. My problem with Common Core is federally setting test guidelines and the actual stuff that has to get taught is getting regulated at the federal level, which I think should belong to the states. So that's my problem with it. Now, I know that there's a lot of problems besides that, but I'm not going to get too far into it. My problem with it is because they're trying to, force it at the federal level. That's my problem with Common Core. Do they teach dumb math? Maybe.
So it should be a state thing?
Yeah,
I think it should be a state thing.
The states should definitely. And if people have problems, like I've heard that they're trying to.
If the tests are standardized by the state, for example, I'm from Missouri. We took what was called the MAP test.
Yeah.
Missouri.
You failed it, didn't you?
I got a shitty score.
Did you do some whippets or something before you came over? What's going on?
Yeah. Anyways, if the tests are standardized by the states, then the subject matter that's in the test should also be determined by the states.
Yeah. So and my problem is just too much power for the federal government, and I'm a small government guy, and so I'm against Common Core on those grounds. There's plenty of arguments to be made against Common Core on other grounds, but that's my position. Moving
Secretary
on.
of State.
Maybe. We've got a couple guys in the running right now. Apparently Mitt Romney, John Bolton, and
Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, Giuliani. I'm going to go out now and say Giuliani gets it. He's been loyal to Trump this whole time. Romney kind of been very much against Trump. Even after he won the primary, Romney was against him. Bolton, I don't think he's getting talked about too much. I know there was a lot of talk about him early. I haven't heard much recently, but
now
I haven't heard anything lately.
You know who make?
It's just your brain.
It's just the
man.
brain.
Hey, bring Mal back on. I want him to talk about Keith.
All right.
Michael Bolton. That's who I was thinking of.
Isn't that a singer?
It is.
I'm kidding.
All right.
But
All right, Mal, you're on.
Hey, Mal.
Yeah, what up?
Hey, let's move on. We're gonna hit up DNC. Apparently, putting Keith Ellison as the new chair member.
Well, he's pretty much the front runner right now. He's not necessarily a shoo-in, but he's a shoo-in.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about him a little bit. Give us the lowdown, and then we're gonna wrap up the show. So let's see what you got.
Okay, so Keith Ellison is your quintessential leftist. He was the first Muslim in the Congress. I think one of the first two ever elected.
Yeah.
He is a radical and anti-Semite, and you don't hear any of that on the news. You hear a lot of stuff about how everyone else in all of Trump's cabinet, everyone except for Keith Ellison, is a radical anti-Semite.
Right. And so what is the quote for Bannon? Like the biggest they're trying to frame him as an anti-Semite, and his quote is like, "I don't want my daughter to go to school with too many Jews." So vile.
Oh,
which it's not a good thing to say, but compare that to
Bannon either. That's like that's actually something that came out of a really ugly divorce with a wife of his.
Yeah. So it's not even a confirmed
wives
quote.
are gross.
No, it's hearsay. We don't know. And again,
but of course that gets
today.
mainstream media coverage while Keith Ellison slides under.
Right. They don't want to bring to light, and I'll talk about why Keith Ellison is an anti-Semite in a minute.
Yeah.
But they want to highlight Bannon, especially as a white supremacist and an anti-Semite. This is a guy who has employed multiple Jewish men, including Ben Shapiro, one of our favorites, and Milo Yiannopoulos, who is a gay Jew.
Yeah.
And he, Ben Shapiro, who again is a borderline Hasidic, like hardcore Jew, wears a yarmulke out in public every single day. Takes off work to do Yom Kippur, observe the Jewish holidays. Very religious, very pragmatic Jew.
Yeah.
He has a lot of bad things to say about Bannon, but the one thing he's never said is that he's an anti-Semite. So there's really no reason to believe that Bannon
and that's a personal, that's personal. It's not like he's just
Keith Ellison also is linked to some stuff. 1995, Ellison led a rally featuring Khalid Abdul Muhammad and Khalil Abdul.
We're talking about Ellison right now. Keith Ellison.
Keith Ellison. Yeah, he led a rally in which someone who he supported made the very public comment: "If words were swords, the chests of Jews, gays, and whites would be pierced."
Right, and he's also very now obviously that's obvious. Like, why would you hold a rally and let someone like Khalid Abdul Muhammad speak?
Yeah, so put that situation on any other. If anybody on the right was hosting a rally and somebody went out saying stuff like that, it would get blown out of the water.
It's exactly like Trump having a rally and his keynote speaker was a white supremacist.
Yeah, it would be completely unpalatable, completely insane. But this guy. Yeah, this guy's getting away with it. So go ahead, give us more on Ellison.
Yeah, not to mention he's been profoundly anti-Israel.
Yeah.
He's been like openly against Israel relations. Hasn't been supportive of supporting our allies in Israel, which is the Jewish nation state. Now, also, my biggest thing about this is it's the deliberation of bias on the left. Like, where the hell is the Anti-Defamation League in all of this? They're all over the alt-right, but nothing to say about Ellison, who's about to head the Democratic Party.
Yeah. Completely absurd.
I'm offended personally.
I think the alt-right, which is a fringe group of the right, they should be exposed. I think that their views are extreme and they are terrible people. They should be exposed. But the thing with the left is this guy is just as bad. And he's getting put as the chair of the DNC. That is mainstream leftism. That is not fringe. That is right in our faces, and the media just completely pushes it to the side, which is just absurd to me.
Well, we're not pushing it to the side. Yeah. Idiolitics will not stand for that.
We are gonna have we are gonna have to push to the side this conversation though, because we're about out of time. So we're going to need to, I wanted to implement something this show, which I think would be cool. So I asked in the comments for somebody to bring something up that they wanted to discuss. So we're going to spend the last couple of minutes discussing what the comments suggested. So
with no preparation.
No preparation whatsoever. So
I have to think on my feet.
Yep. So Ashley Alberts said, I read something that said it would be a slap in the face to voters if Romney became Secretary of State or whatever. But I don't understand why.
I'm assuming this is to Trump voters.
Yeah.
It would be it kind of is a slap in the face to people that have been with Trump the whole time. Romney was very much anti-Trump. So there's words that apparently Mitt Romney is thinking about putting out like a apology essentially. And this is kind of insider baseball, so none of this is really confirmed. But Mitt Romney is going to put out an apology, and then
with Trump the whole time,
Romney was very much. So Romney's getting a bunch of, I don't know, pretty much. He's probably not going to get the position regardless. But if he puts out an apology, maybe Trump's going to put out an olive branch to him.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with a Mitt Romney pick. I think it'd be a good one, but I think
I would prefer Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, I think Giuliani's going to get it. You're going to get what you want. Romney would bring in alternating views, you know, and so there's a lot of talk about whether Trump's going to bring in people that would go against, Trumpism, or whether he's going to go all Trump with guys like Giuliani.
Yeah.
And there's argument for both, let's go all Trump. Let's see what Trumpism is all about. But at the same time, you want to bring in alternative views, kind of like that Reagan-esque, bringing in all these alternative views to come out with the best outcome.
Agreed.
I don't know. Only time will tell.
I think that's the pretty good
answer. Can we come up with a better word than Trumpism?
Trumpism?
It works for right now.
I don't think we get to decide.
Trump-politics.
Trump-politics.
You guys got any final thoughts for today?
No, we had fun. I'm so glad Mal wasn't here.
God,
we finally get to put a decent show together.
Yeah, it's great. I am in love with this microphone.
Yeah, well, you get to keep it because Mal's getting kicked off the show. He sucks.
It's fantastic. I honestly thought I was the first to go. But
not with that monologue. You did great.
Oh, thanks,
you did good.
Minus it not having anything to do with the show, I say you did good.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to get out of here.
Yes, sir.
I am in love.
Not with that monologue. You did great.
Well, you did
good. Minus it not having anything to do with the show.
Fantastic. I honestly thought I was.
All right, guys.
I thought I was.
To get out of here.
Not with that.
I am in love.
Not with that monologue.
I don't know what the hell is going on with that.
We're still live.
We are still live. We were trying. We haven't figured out this stupid freaking music thing, so we're dying here.
Am I supposed to be hosting the show right now?
Yeah, it's all good.
I was about to get up and whip it out.
We were just gonna say thank you guys so much for watching Idiolitics, and make sure you guys tune in next week. We'll have a whole bunch more stuff to talk about, and like us, share with your friends, and we appreciate you guys' time.